Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. I did a ton of work between episodes. As you guys can see in the top right corner, we have $62,519, and that is entirely due to all of the trees I cut down back here. I did do some research, sort of looked into the forestry thing, and was able to determine that the best length of trees is 9 meters. So I used the measure mod and cut down trees, cut them to 9 meters. I think I took 4 or 5, maybe even 6 loads of trees up on our flatbed trailer. The International did a great job pulling it. But I did discover some interesting things back here. We have these trees here. I was having some loads that weren't making me a bunch of money. These trees are actually deadwood, and they're just not worth very much at all. So I left them, even though I'll probably come back later on with the lumberjack mod and just cut those out and be done with them, because they're not even worth driving up to the sawmill. But we did progress on into August. And we have some animals that need attention, as expected here. Let's see if we can't grab our lead and head over to our bullpen. Throwing the lead around. Hold on, got to get it picked up. All right, here we go. So we have Choco, who's pregnant with 1 baby. Vanity's pregnant with 3 babies. Queen did not get pregnant overnight, which is interesting, but Rogue, our Angus bull, is aware there is 1 impregnatable female left in there. And Foxy, our water buffalo, also became pregnant and has 3 babies. So we have, between all those animals, 5, 6 babies coming out of that group. So that is absolutely incredible. Let's get over here. Let's put them into the barn. And then animals that are in the barn, I don't think we have any that are ready to be moved over. Let's see. These are all pregnant. Too young. Too young. Oh, no suitable. Silver is ready to head on over. And let's see if we have any other animals. Misty just gave birth. So this is Misty's calf right here. So we'll have to get that calf named. That's very exciting. That is our first calf born on the farm. And Misty is no longer a heifer. She's a cow. So exciting stuff. And then our water buffalo, still too young. So let's get 1 animal moved back over to the bullpen. Wish this mod worked a little better with holding on to the leash, but we'll make it happen. Go ahead and move selected over here, and then our 1 water buffalo was pregnant as well with 3 babies, so we'll get her moved back over. So the animals are doing well. We are expecting lots and lots of calves coming onto the farm. So I have a couple of ideas of what we should be doing today. Let's get Foxy moved on over. Excellent. The animals are where they're supposed to be. In regards to the animals' food, the cow barn still has 11,000 liters of hay and 8,000 liters of silage, and the cow pasture still has 6,300 liters of hay and 4,800 liters of silage and 30,000 liters of water. So we are in good shape in regards to the animals being fed. So let's grab the truck and head up to the shop with our lettuce. And while we're up there, we have some decisions to make, because as you can see over there in the distance, we have a wheat field to... Oh, hit the wrong button there. We have a wheat field to harvest today, so we need to figure out a harvester, which is one of the big reasons I spent all that time cutting down all those trees and getting them sold. So I will see you guys up at the shop. We are arriving at the shop. Let's just check and make sure we are using the right sell point. So actually the best price is to sell everything in the back. So let's go ahead and pull through. I did buy a pallet of seed. It was in the sale for like 600 bucks, maybe 600 and change. Knew we'd be needing that coming up with the planting season, so wanted to make sure that we had plenty of seed for the farm. Gonna get those 2 sold. Might just be too high with the wheels in the center coming over the grate. Let's see if we get a little bit of an angle, if it'll make a difference. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think we're just going to pull around. So $74,000, guys, almost $75,000. That is the most money we've ever had besides when we took our loans out. So that is really, really exciting. And figuring out what we're going to do with all that money is going to be a challenge. So we'll start in the sale. Let's scroll down and let's see. There's not a lot in here that really interests me. Yeah, we have another baler, but we don't need another baler. We could swap out our 711 skid steer for one that's used and save ourselves a little bit of money. I'll have to look at that when we go back to the farm. We do have tree planters, which are interesting, but they're just still a lot of money. I am looking at either the Vermeer, because we'll have straw, and that's a straw bale shredder, or the K brand, and that's actually a forage mixer wagon. So we could put straw in there and use that to distribute, so it'll do both. So that's probably long term for an extra $4,000, a much better option. So the real item we're looking at in the sale today, I would love to get a bale trailer, but I don't think that's going to happen. This could be a great trailer for our milk. I'll be keeping an eye on that. But the real item we're looking for is right here, a harvester. So the Massey, that's the smallest, I believe that's the smallest base game harvester we have. It's $49,000, which we definitely could afford. Has an 8,000 liter capacity, and it has, as far as I can tell, let's see, actually jump back over here. It has the largest header of the small harvester. So it has, the header that comes with it is 6 meters, but the header is 30 grand, guys. That is so steep. We come down and look at a couple of the alternatives. We have the Forts that come down here. They have a 2,300 liter capacity. This one goes up to 28, so not great. This one has a 3,500 liter capacity. We have 56 and 56 here. So I'm thinking we might pick up one of these. The real challenge comes with a 4.2 and a 5.7 meter head. So the 5.7, 7 grand, I think that's probably going to be the best option. This one's a little bit more. Why is this one more expensive? Let's see, 2,300, 25 or 28 for an additional 6 grand, guys. That is a lot of money for a couple extra 1,000 liters. So let's double check. Yeah, this has a 5.7 meter header. I think this is the way we're going to go. 2,300 liter capacity. Well, I guess we should look at this one. This one has 25 to 3,500 liter capacity. What is the cutting width on it, though? 4 meters. So I guess the question comes down, do we want a 4 meter header? Or do we want nearly a 6 meter header to get the work done and a little bit more capacity? 25 to 35. What does it cost to get that capacity up? Let's see, extension 25. So the big one is 3 grand. So we'd be at 13,000. Roof setup. We can get a roof on it. We can get a cabin. We can get nothing. We can pick our color, which is interesting. Oh, it's only really the front, so it doesn't really much matter. I don't know. I mean, 13 grand would leave us with a lot of money, and we're not doing that much harvesting. The problem is, as we increase the size of the fields, this is very, very quickly going to get obsolete at 4 meters of working with. So we're talking about almost 50% more working with the Blue Fort, the 512, 25, 28, 23. That one, what are the headers? So we have some colors. And how do we get the capacity up on this one? There we go. 28, 25. This one not go to 35? So this one goes to 28, and it's an extra $2.5 grand. Man, guys, this is a tough decision. I think we're going to go with the Massey. I think we try to spend as little money as possible here. Go with the extension, and we'll go with, what do we have as far as, yeah, see, it's only that front panel, so it really doesn't matter. Maybe, you know, for $100, we're leaving it red, I'll tell you that much. Then the rim color, can we go black? We can. It's $200, probably not worth it. How about this black? Also 200. Nope, that one is 0. Okay, so we're picking this up for $13.8. Decision made. We're going to regret having such a small working with later, but for right now, that is the best we're going to do. $2,800 for the header. That is great news. Nice and cheap. And we have that done. So the question becomes, what do we want to do with the rest of our money? There were a couple other items in here that were worth looking at. I definitely think we get this for the milk trailer. This is a really cool mod. It does have the watering by hand. So there's a hose on the back. We're not going to be using that, but is worth noting that it is an option. Yeah, we'll get that. 2,500 liters. That'll be our milk trailer for on the farm. And $27,000 for a bale picker. That seems great, but I don't think it's worth it. We are going to need a mixer, and we have to have a way to shred our straw bales. So this is coming home with us. We're going to be a K-brand farm for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it seems like the majority of our equipment comes back that way. And do we trade out our Massey? How much is our Massey worth? $19,000, and it's not fixed up, so we could make more money on that. So I think, yeah, I think we do bring this Massey back with us. We want the skid loader. Is it worth, since we're going to make a little bit of money on it, do we want to get something with the tracks? Let's see. I don't want that. I like the open cab. Yeah, so they have the tracked version, extra $600. I think that's worth doing for the forestry work we're doing and everything else. We haven't had any issues. Who knows? We don't need those. Which tires are free? That's what we care about. The wide trailer boards. Excellent. That's what we want. We're going to leave it at that, so we're going to pick that up as well. We are coming home with a whole bunch of stuff. And going through the rest of the sale, I think everything else we can do without. It's only 4 meter working with. We already have one that's wider than that. The K-brand planter is only 3.2 meters. We could pick up the K-brand mower, but I just don't want to pick up the front. I think we want to pick up like the bat wing will be our big upgrade when the time comes. So just running through here, 62 for a telehandler, way too much money. 11,000 for a mulcher seems like something we're not going to use very much. It would be great to have, but just not necessary for what we're going to need. The Amazon, 4.5 meters, not a big enough change in the working with. Yeah, I mean, I think we are all but done here. We don't need a hay bale. We have plenty of those. We have this big mixer, but I think that's too big for what we want. We're not going to be mixing up that much TMR yet. So, very, very cool. So, it's going to take a couple of trips. How are we going to get the harvester back to the farm? I don't think it's going to fit on the trailer. I don't think there's even a chance of that happening, but in classic realistic cattle ranch challenge form, we will see if we can get the trailer on there. You know, why not? It might fit. We've gotten worse things in better places. There we go. We have a harvester on the farm, guys. They don't even offer a header trailer. They know you're not going to have any problems getting this on. All right, let's check out our ramps. Man, we went from $75,000 to $25,000 real quick and in a hurry there, guys. All right, so there's one wheel on the edge. Ooh, that is going to be tight. Yeah, we missed. Oh, did we miss it enough with the rear, or is the rear going to pull up? No, we got to square up. We're going to fall off here. All right, let's get... Okay. I mean, that is terrifying, but it is... I'm not sure if this is a good decision, guys. Okay, we have that on. I don't think it's worth trying to throw anything else on. I'll drive this guy back. I'll come back up. I think we can get... We might be able to get everything else on in one load if we really work at it. But we do finally have a harvester, which is great because we have our wheat that needs to be harvested. So I'll see you guys back at the farm. We are back on the farm, and we got everything in that second load. It's not pretty. Took me a little bit of time to get things situated. I think our truck suspension is totally bottomed out. We got way too much on there, but we didn't have to take an extra back from the shop. So, what is on the docket for today? Well, we got a couple of things. One, I believe this grass field back here is going to be ready to mow, and it is. So we have to mow that. I'll probably do that at the end of the episode. We have our wheat field to harvest so that we can get to the straw and get that stuff done. But I think while we're on the subject of the wheat field, I think it's time to throw a little bit of storage up. So first we'll save the game before we put any placeables down, just to make sure that we don't lose anything. Every once in a while something a little bit funny happens. So as far as sheds go, I think it's actually under silos. Where is it? I was looking at it the other day. This one right here, 550 bales and or pallets. And I love the way this one looks. It's got a little bit of a rustic look, just like the rest of our farm. So what I'm thinking is I cleared a little bit of a spot over here next to the barn, just making sure that's sort of squared up. We want it just like this. I'm thinking we want to tuck that in right here, be able to throw our implements in there and everything else. So let's see how that goes. Not too bad. It's a little bit uneven. So let's come in here and let's just make sure that we're smooth all the way out and even so that we can, yeah, it's going to take a little bit extra out here to get it to be flat. Okay, so the trick here, come back in. Let's find it again right here. Put it right there, $10,003. That's great. Then now that we've flattened it out around the area, now we can get this to blend in a whole heck of a lot better, because it doesn't blend right on the edges of the building. It's one of my complaints. I mean, the building menu and editor is so much better than it was in Farm Sim 22. So I really don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because it is just worlds better than it was. But, you know, there's always room for a little bit of improvement. I think we want to make that a little tucked in area there for storing some equipment as well. This looks to be a little bit uneven over here. Let's go ahead and just make sure that's all even. So we have a new barn on the property, our new shed. And this, let's check the landscaping. Yeah, that turned out really nice. Oh, we got a little corner there that's a little bit goofy, but we won't see that for very long. So the idea is that'll store our bales and give us a spot to put our Massey Ferguson harvester. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest the wheat field. I'll throw that on a time lapse for you guys. I am hoping at this stage that the capacity of this field, let's see, because we don't have a trailer. What do they think the capacity is going to be? Does it give us, or what's the yield going to be? Soil expected yield 92%, yield potential 100%. Doesn't give us any liters. I suspect, guys, we're going to need a trailer. I don't think this is going to be limited to whatever 3,500 liter capacity. So the middle of this may be us going to get a trailer, but we'll figure all that out when we get there. So I will see you guys when we are done harvesting the field. All right, guys, we did not even make it all around the outside, so we're definitely going to need something for the straw or for the wheat. Now, I was thinking, I'd mentioned previously, we are obviously a cattle ranch, but we talked about getting chickens just purely for the purposes of being able to deal with the wheat. So this is $9,400 and holds 1,000 chickens and would give us an opportunity to have chickens on the farm. And I was thinking we could put them in this little area back here behind the, or next to, what do we go next to? Yeah, what if we put the chickens right here next to our greenhouses? And then the trigger, let's see, the fill trigger is right there, which would be right next to our field. So we could tuck it right there. I think we're going to want to pull that up and flatten that spot real quick just to make sure, once again, that it's nice. But there's a lot of changes going on the farm today. Let's make this as smooth as possible. Run back over to the chickens and grab this guy. And we really don't want that level, do we? That's going to create a problem between the greenhouses and the chicken coop. So let's... Oh, this could be getting ugly here, guys. This could be a reason to save. And we didn't. All right, let's go back in. Let's see about... That's not going to be a lot of leveling. Okay, I think that's going to work out well. Smooth everything down. Back to the chicken area. Let's jump out and see how that turned out. Do have a little bit of a bowl here because of the trees. Not too shabby. Yeah, that area up there with the trees is definitely a little bit of a challenge. But I think we can live with that. So let's go ahead and put the wheat in to our new chicken coop. And get back to harvesting. We'll get all this put in. I will see you guys at the end when we are done with the wheat harvest. Well, guys, that is a wrap on the first harvest of our wheat field here on Sunshine Forest. And I have to say, the 4-meter working width was not really a problem. The 3,500 liter capacity was absolutely necessary. We'll put all of this into our new chicken pen, our new chicken roost, and we'll see how much we got off that field. Maybe 5 empty, so about 15,000. Let's take a look and see. Wow, way more than that. Excuse me, 22,720 liters. That is great. We will get some chickens in there, and we will take our Massey harvester and tuck it into our new shed. And I think the 4-meter header may actually even fit all the way in there. So let's see how far we can get this back and in. Here we go. Oh yeah, like a glove. That's a beauty. Okay, lower that down. Let's go ahead and disconnect it just so there's no tension on it while we're storing it, because we're not going to need it again until next year. And that is exciting. So new Massey harvester on the farm. It did its job well. We have all of this straw over here to go pick up, so we'll get that done as well. But for the rest of this episode, I think we need to get this trailer unloaded, and then we need to get back over to the shop and pick up our animals, and we will probably call it there for this episode. But let's go ahead and we're gonna have some fun here. So first off, this guy, we're just dive bombing him. Let's just, away you go. Nice, perfect. Love this thing. So robust, so tough, easy to get on and off. Turns on an absolute dime. Okay, here we go. Let's get the weights on the back. That is the most critical part. Great, that is done. Turn him off. Now, let's see about getting the ramps extended. While those are working their way out, let's grab the Fiat. And here we go. So first off, we're going to try to get our new milk trailer off. I'm hoping the hitch is high enough to catch it and go right off the side. It is. We win. Cool. I'm excited to have this little trailer on the farm, start getting our milk. We're going to just tuck that right here for the minute. And then we're going to run back over here and attempt to back up on here and grab our feed mixer, which more importantly for right now is going to be our bale shredder as well. Ooh, that is far over on that edge. Can we get it? Oh, we did. It wasn't pretty. Even got the wheels on the ramps like a professional. That's a nice looking setup right there, guys. We are starting to look legitimate here. I am excited. All right, let's get this guy back into the new shed. Perfect. Done and done. All right, and I think the last piece before we switch trailers and head back over to the shop, we've got to get the seed out of here. No, we don't want to open the door. Let's get the ramps put away while we're at it. While that is working, grab our Massey. Let's see about hooking that seed pallet. I think it's going to be a bit of finagling it in underneath it. Oh, look at that. Like a pro. Starting to get pretty good with this thing. think we'll leave that right here. We'll probably just end up putting that right into the seeder. There's really no point in storing it anywhere else. I'm going to grab our animal trailer, and I will see you guys back up at the shop for picking up the next round of animals. See you guys in just a minute. We are at the animal dealer. It has been an incredibly productive morning. Still have $27,000 in the bank. Feeling really good about having some cash on hand. Let's look at these animals. This is yesterday. Yesterday is overall as good. Okay. 13-month-old from the Czech Republic. Very good. Usually we don't buy animals this expensive, but you know, we're landing on we're hitting the tables at the casino, I guess, and we're making money, so why not? Very bad, bad. We don't need any more bulls. Princess, the only Holstein cow or heifer, is in bad shape from Japan, too. Could be some Wagyu beef there, but no such luck. We don't need a Holstein bull. Angus, we got Smith, who's very good. 45 months old for a $5,000 animal. Yikes, guys. Is she pregnant? I don't know how we would tell, because it said you could buy pregnant animals. So this is a very good animal, only 13 months old, from Russia. I think we buy that one. Average, extremely good, 11 months coming home with us. Good, very bad, extremely low, and very bad. Wow, this poor animal from France is not in good shape. Okay, we don't need any Angus bulls. Limousine, 11 months old and very good. Yeah, I like that one as well. How many do we have? 2, 3, 4. We can fit one more in this load. These are all bad, very bad. Wow, lots of not good animals. Good, very bad, very bad. Oh, that's the bull. And a very good 1-month-old water buffalo for $238. Yeah, I think those are going to be the 5. Okay, excellent. Lots of different animals in here. Okay, we're not quite at the point of needing a bigger trailer, but we're gonna start getting there pretty soon. I will see you guys back at the ranch. I got one more building surprise for this episode, and then we'll head on out. See you guys in a second. Back on the ranch, guys. Let's get these animals situated here. So I think we have one heifer that can go directly into the breeding pen. So let's give that a quick look. 13 months. So this one go directly into the breeding pen. Too young. This one go directly into the breeding pen. Obviously too young. Obviously too young. So we'll move the young ones. Do I want to move 3 animals? Yes, it was 3. Just making sure. I thought for a second there it might be 2. Okay, then we have our 2 over here. Gonna have to sort of swing out and get a better angle at the trigger on this side. So let's go around the bales. And we are heading right here. And these lovely ladies are gonna go right here. So move selected, 2 into husbandry. Yes, they are in there. Great. And we can tuck our trailer back in on the side over here. Excellent. Drop it off. Okay. So we are in really good shape. I think the last thing I want to do, I had an idea and now I'm not sure it's going to work. So let's take a quick look here. With our animals, we should have 1 limousine. Okay, so we need to rename all of our animals, which I can do between episodes. This is our first limousine. and I have a name for him. So this limousine is going to be named Uno, because they are the first animal born on the farm. So have that one named. Okay, what we're going to do between episodes is get the bales cleaned up. The idea I want to jump up into flight mode here for you guys and give you a quick idea of what I'm thinking about. So right now, I'm loving the way the farmyard or the ranch yard's turning out. We have our open pasture over here. This is basically our breeding pasture, our greenhouses, and our new chicken coop over there, which is going to work out really well. Our new storage shed for bales and our cow barn. Now, because we're having calves, we're going to have bulls. We already have 2 water buffalo bulls. One of them obviously is not as high quality as the other. So I don't want to keep the sort of secondhand bulls in the barn, and I don't want to keep them in the breeding pasture because I don't want them breeding with our heifers or our cows. So I think we're going to take another open pasture just like this and put it catty corner right over here where the bales are, and that will be our sort of growing pen, where animals that we're keeping until they're of higher value and just feeding them hay and just keeping them moving and that kind of stuff go over here. But they're not for breeding, they're not for milk, and they're not to give birth to calves. They're just animals that we're aging out of the farm and will eventually sell. So I think, or eventually sell. So I think that's the plan. You can see our ranch coming together. We have our grass field. We have our wheat field over there with all that straw on it. We got to get picked up. And then we have our other grass field over here. So guys, I'm super excited. I see this area back behind the barn where we put our new shed sort of turning into a bit of the farmyard. We'll get some more vehicle storage, maybe something next to the greenhouses. And eventually, I see that area back in the trees, and we have to buy some more land. But I think we're going to put a big winter barn in there to keep our animals out of the cold once our herd starts getting really, really big. So super excited about what happened this episode. Loved having a little bit of money to spend. I think we spent it really intelligently and on things that are going to make a big difference for the farm. And, we got our first wheat harvest. We'll get some chickens next episode, and I will see you guys soon. So thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.